Wayne, any injuries from the weekend?
Yeah, we have some more. So where do we start? Lee Halfpenny just picked up a pec injury, so we're getting that that checked out. So he won't be available this weekend. We're going to rest him this weekend anyway with his number of games he's had. Johnny McNichol is still out. Obviously Steph's out, so it's the back three gone. Foxy's obviously out for a long time. Hadley Parks took a bit of a knock to the knee, but he was able to jog around there today, so he's in doubt. Scott Williams is all banged up, so he's probably going to be a doubtful starter. So we've got a hell of a lot of brackets that we've tried to name a team today, but we're going to have to wait till tomorrow now. So we reduced training today, and we'll do a little bit more tomorrow. Difficult one really. Gareth Davies just feeling a groin, and then we go into the forwards, don't we? So from there, Josh McLeod just feeling a foot. He's had previous surgery on that foot, so it would probably mean that he'll have to be rested. The good news there is Lewis Rawlins has come through training today, so he should be okay. The front five are looking okay. Samson Lee trained today and trained well, came through the live scrummaging, so he'll be included in the 23. So that's good news there for Samson. So yeah, all in all, it's pretty much the midfield and back three where we're taking the hammering. Gareth obviously he's been playing very, very well at 9, and just to feel that groin, so with Johnny Evans back and running at training, we'll probably just swap those two around in the 23.
Just going back to Lee Halfpenny, when you're going to check it out, how severe do you think it is at this moment?
He's thinking he'll be right next week. Yeah, but he's a bit sore at the moment, but it is improving daily.
And then perhaps, as you say, coming back, Samson Lee, it's been a long road for him after, he's going to be edging closer. How much of a boost would it be to have him back in the 23 on Friday? Yeah,
really, really good. Happy for Samson. He's, we've the medical teams in conjunction with the WRU boys obviously put a plan together for him, and he's worked tirelessly at getting himself right, and he's feeling much more stronger. He's saying now he can feel he can push off both legs with even amount of power, and which is great news. And he's come through the live scrummaging, so he felt really good. At the same time, he's done a lot of work on his conditioning, so he's got a different body shape from 6 weeks ago, and noticeable. So he's getting around the park a lot better at training. So hopefully it's good news for him going forward.
Just coming back, Aaron Shingler, John Barclay, what are they?
Yeah, Aaron trained today, trained well. John Barclay trained fully. His wife's had their third child, and so that's all good. So both those players are available as well.
You mentioned McNichol, obviously the knock he took at the end against the Ospreys. How what's the timescale with John?
Yeah, it's improving. He ran today, but just didn't feel comfortable in that sort of last bit of range of movement at the back, and so we'll give it another week and hopefully be right for Bath.
Right, yeah, because obviously with the Bath on the horizon, it's I suppose you've got one eye on that at the moment.
Yeah, look, we're certainly we want to go through and try and win all 6 derbies this year. The boys have put that down as a challenge. And we haven't played the Dragons this year. We know how they played against us last year out here, and we probably maybe got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Didn't play that well that night, and we had to come from behind to win. I think 5 tries to 4 in the end. So we respect what they've done to us in the last couple of years. They've always been tight affairs. So last year in particular. So obviously that's fresh in the minds. We want to put out a side which we think is going to put up a strong showing. Obviously.
Tom Prydie obviously stepped in with Steph's absence last week. How do you feel he went?
I was really happy for Tom. Everything we talked about during the week, he did. He brought a lot more physicality to his game, his clean outs, his carrying and contact. He had a real hunger about him, which was great. I was really, really pleased for him.
You've been talking this year about doing work behind the scenes and sending him away to play Premiership rugby. Has that been part of it, this contact?
Yeah, it has been. It's just being a little bit more physical in everything he does, really. And in the last few weeks he's been stepping it up, and then obviously got the opportunity, and I thought on the back of a couple of performances in South Africa, he's improving. So pleased for Tom. Yeah.
I haven't spoken to you since obviously the Steph Evans verdict. What do you think? 4 weeks for that?
Yeah, well, we were hoping it was going to go in the lower end entry point. It didn't. It went in the mid-range, and you know, we got a good fair hearing, and they took into account Steph's record and some of the points we brought up around the conditions and whatnot, and you know, his penalty was reduced. So it's something that you know, we go away and reflect on, and Steph will be doing a lot of work in that area of his game, making sure that, you know, in that situation again, the outcome is different. But you know, you just got to box on, and you know, at this stage, we're just going through it, all the sort of legal side of it, and I think today's a cut-off. 5 o'clock today's a cut-off for an appeal, so we'll make a final call on that later this afternoon. But in terms of the process, happy with the process. Yeah.
So you're still considering?
Yeah, we've got one more discussion to have. And it's more legal issues as opposed to, you know, physically what he did in the air and that sort of thing. It's more about how they got into that entry point. But as I say, we'll have that final discussion this afternoon, and I'm not too sure how it'll end up, to be honest.
Can it ever be increased if you appeal? Is that the always danger of that? Can it ever be increased if it was appealed? Because obviously it was 8 weeks of the entry point to start with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you've got to take all that into consideration, which is what we'll do, and we'll get the experts' view of the world and go from there.
That leaves you pretty shy back three at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does, but it's not the reason for an appeal.
No,
it's either, you know, but we are very, very thin. And we seem to have had it in previous years too. The first year I was here, it was all the tight heads, and you know, we've had some second rows hit, and now it's the back three, you know, and the midfielder getting banged up. So again, it's, you know, it's about using the squad and making sure that we prepare well with the short turnarounds as best we can, really.
So do we see perhaps one of the younger boys that you've spoken of in the past coming in this week?
Oh yeah, well, you know, when you take out Jonathan Davies, Scott Williams and probably Hadley Parks, then there's definitely going to be some new boys in there.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the wings, you've spoken to someone like Ryan Conby, you and Nicola.
Well, Tom Prydie's there, played well, so he'll back up. Paul Asquith's off sick as well at the moment, so he's not in at work. So yeah, we just got to wait and see, really. So we've actually got a whole lot of brackets, to be honest. There's a whole lot of ifs and buts and maybes. But we've got the likes of Johan Nicholas training well, played well in South Africa. Yeah. We've got Steph Hughes, who played well in South Africa. So those are logical guys to come in.
You talk about the home record here. Wayne, what have you put that down to, the amount of league wins you've managed on the bounce for the last 15, 16 months?
Look, all teams generally win more at home than they do away. Our focus has really been making sure that, you know, we take pride in our performances at home. We've got a good fan base, you know, and we owe it to a lot of people who put funding into this club to make sure that, you know, we put on good performances for our community, because we are very much a community-based club with where the funding comes from. We're not in a big city, and it's not 2 or 3 sponsors. We've got literally hundreds and hundreds of smaller sponsors, and they're local businessmen, local families in the community. So, you know, we really do want to play well every time we play at home. I know all sides do, but we know the ground well. The boys love playing at home. Our big focus since I've been here is to make sure we win on the road, and I think we've managed to turn that round. And obviously last year was sort of the final step, really, being able to get to the playoffs and win it away from home. So yeah, proud record at home. We don't sort of focus too much on the winning streak. It's more about each week, what do we have to do to improve to hopefully get a better performance. And in recent weeks we haven't had our best performances, and we don't expect to at this time of the year. This time of the year is a lot of playing and not a lot of training, and so some of the combination work in that with the rotation isn't what you probably get at the latter part of the season, and you can't peak for 9 months of the year. You know, you've got guys heading off to international rugby, under 20s. So for us, this period is not about playing our best rugby, it's about accumulating enough points to be in the playoffs. And so it's all about winning. And if we don't have our prettiest game we win, then we're happy. And you know, we're pretty happy on the weekend. When was it? I'm losing track of the days. Was it the weekend?
Sunday, wasn't it?
It was Sunday, yeah.
I suppose
It's Tuesday,
time
before.
like you did last year, it'd be the perfect scenario.
Yeah, and we accumulated points through this period last year, and we've managed to do it so far. And it's where Friday night's a really important game for us.
Sorry, look at the league standings at the moment. Obviously, there's a bit of breathing space between you and Ulster and then Edinburgh, but you've got a tough sort of run. You've got Leinster play twice, and then Munster, Glasgow.
Yeah, look, it can change pretty quickly. You know, the internationals are on. If it's anything like the autumn series, we will lose a number of players. So, you know, those games against, I think, Leinster twice in 3 weeks, Ulster, you know, Benetton away without the internationals, all tricky games, you know. And then when we get the internationals back, we've got the likes of Munster away and Glasgow who are running hot at home. So there's no easy games in Edinburgh away. So it's going to be a tough run in. That's why these games here were so vital to get the points.
One of those guys who's been in quite in form for you around that time, James Davies. He sat here to us before Christmas and we asked him about Wales and he wasn't very hopeful or anything like that. Given his form, given some of the back row injuries that Wales have at the moment, do you think he can be selected this time around?
Oh, it's obviously a question for others, but look, I've expressed my views on James. He's a fine player. I'd love to see him get a cap or an opportunity to get a cap, and if it does, great. We lose a fantastic player, so it'll hurt us. But look, part of what we do is get results for the club, but also help promote the guys to the next level. And if James got a call up, we'd be over the moon.